Hello, my name is Daisy Nellis and this is my entry for the Grand Prairie Library baking competition. I'm going to be teaching you how to make my signature Malteser chocolate donuts. So some of the ingredients you're going to need is you're going to need 1.5 cups of flour, 1/3 of a cup of cocoa, 1/2 a cup of fine Malteser, so that way it's kind of in a powder. You're going to need 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. You're going to need 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And then so that's for your flour. And then for your wet ingredients, you're going to need 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 2 eggs, 2/3 of a cup of sugar, 1/2 a cup of milk, and 2 teaspoons melted butter. But first, for your floury bakes, you're going to need to combine your flour in a bowl, as well as your crushed up Maltesers, your cocoa, your baking soda, and your salt. In a separate bowl, combine your milk and your butter. Make sure that it's well combined to go into your base. In a new bowl, mix vanilla, sugar, and your eggs until it is thick. Remember, you're only going to need about a teaspoon of this vanilla because it's pretty strong. Make sure everything in here is well combined so that way your base is very fluid and there's no big chunks in it. So in this next step, you're going to combine alternately a little bit of your egg mixture into your cocoa mixture, and then after it's all nice and whisked together and everything is moistened up, you're going to add a little bit of your milk mixture to that mix, and then make sure that it's all well combined so that way it turns into a nice kind of a dough. Make sure all of your ingredients are well combined in your base. So my tip is that I always put my donut dough in a piping bag, so it's easier to kind of fill up my tubes with. I also sprayed my pan before, so that way it'll come out easier. And so when I go through, it's going to kind of, and I don't want to fill it up all the way, just kind of like 2/3. So that's kind of perfect right there. So I'm just going to fill it up. Like so. And I also preheated my oven to 325 degrees for my donuts. So I'm going to put my filled up tray into the oven. This amount of dough or batter will make about 2 batches, so about 24 donuts. But mine are mini donuts, so I don't know. Might bake probably 12 like big full-size donuts. So I'm going to put mine in my oven for about 8 minutes or until they're kind of fully cooked all the way through. So after 8 minutes, my donuts are perfect. So I'm going to pull them out. Depending on how big you filled up yours, they might not be done yet. I'm ready. So for this step, I'm going to make the glaze or the icing for my donuts. So I add my bit of cocoa powder and my little bit of icing sugar. And after I mix them together, I have to add 2 teaspoons of hot water. So it doesn't have to be boiling, just kind of from the tap.
Tablespoons.
Tablespoons, yeah. So the last and most fun part is I take my icing, which is made of 1/2 a cup of icing sugar and 1/2 a cup of cocoa, but I added a bit more icing sugar at the end to make it sweet, depending on what you like. So then I take my donut, and I use some water too, so I put about 4 tablespoons of hot water. And then you kind of take them and just kind of swirl them around. And then once it's done, if you want, you can I add sprinkles to mine, so I think they look really cool, but you can add chocolate chips or score bits or however you like to decorate your cupcakes. I hope you enjoyed our lesson on Malteser donuts. Thank you.